Today in the shop, we're prepping this brand new Kia Telluride for a ceramic coating. Recently, one of you had asked that I do a dedicated video sharing with you guys my process for new car ceramic coating and for prep. So we're jumping right in, and I want to share with you guys what that looks like. I always do tires, wheels, and wheel wells, as well as door jambs. We'll do one side of the vehicle. We'll do a good foaming pre-soak just to loosen any bugs and road film that might be on the lower panels of the vehicle. This vehicle was only a couple of weeks old, so there wasn't a lot of dirt on it, but we had enough road bits and road boogers that we needed to do a good foaming pre-soak. But I always start off with tires, wheels, and wheel wells, as well as door jambs, get those done, and then move on to my foaming pre-soak, then a good high-pressure rinse. From there, we will do our contact wash. I'll use something like a McKee's 37 Coating Prep Auto Wash. Does a really nice job of removing any sort of sealants or waxes that may have been put on there by the dealership. From there, we will do a good rinse, then a chemical decon, followed by a clay towel treatment. I'll use the chemical decon as my lubricant, as well as the soap from the bucket. Give that a good rinse, pull it into the garage. We'll dry everything off. We'll use a blower to blow out all of our crevices, do all of our door jambs. Just make sure everything is completely dry before we move on to polishing and doing the ceramic coating step. And you never know with a new car what the paint is going to look like, so we'll inspect with our swirl finder light.
Okay, so this like rarely happens to me, but this vehicle is from September 2022 is when it was built. We are now February 2023, so this is a 5-month-old vehicle. The paint must be pretty hard, either that or the customer hasn't washed it once or is meticulously taking care of it, because there's like a total of like 3 scratches, and really the only one that I see right here, and that could have been from maybe a purse. I don't see any sort of clay towel marring on the paint. It's actually like pristine. If there are any sort of scratches or swirls on this paint, they are like minute. It's like one here, one on that panel. So because after we did our wash, our chemical decon, I could still see some beading on the paint, that tells me that we might have a little bit of protection still on there. So we're just gonna do our due diligence and do a very, very quick paint enhancement. Not chasing swirls and scratches, might not even need too much lighting, just because at this point I'm more cleaning the paint, prepping it for our coating. If you are going through the expense of having a coating applied, either investing in products and coating to do it yourself or paying someone like me to do it, just do your due diligence, polish the paint. Even though it is brand spanking new, I'm not looking to be aggressive and remove really any sort of defects off the paint. If I do, that's a bonus. But more than anything, I need to make sure I have a virgin stripped panel with nothing on it, so that way my coating will last. But God answered my prayers in a great way. I was hoping to be able to get everything done before my kids come home, and I was really hoping to be able to spend time with them because it is such a beautiful day. So that's why I'm trying to pace myself, push myself. And for someone like me with ADHD, I tend to work better when I have pressure. So sometimes I give myself these strict guidelines. Might be a little bit more stress or anxiety. I try to make it doable. Don't be like 2 hours, because that's not realistic, and then you're not going to do anything because you know you're not going to be able to do it. But 4 hours is kind of pushing myself to get it done, but I need to tell myself maybe 3 hours. We might shorten that window now. Give myself an hour to polish, an hour to coat. It took an hour to do our wash, chemical decon, and prep. So, I mean, could I do it in 3 hours? Let's find out. Let's go. All right, it's 12:45. I'm gonna stop for lunch, so then that gives us 1 o'clock. If I can polish from 1 to 2, coat from 2 to 3, it's 3 hours. I could be done and play with my kids. All right, let's go.
Because paint today from manufacturers is getting thinner and thinner, and because most new cars don't require much polishing, when it comes to prepping a new car for a ceramic coating, I tend to go more for cleaning the paint, make sure everything is prepped. I don't necessarily chase paint perfection. I will do a one-step polish on it. I will use various products based on the paint hardness or softness to be able to give me the results that the customer is looking for. Piano trim pillars, we did use Koshemi F601, followed by Optimum Hyper Polish, because piano trim pillars, they can be more sensitive, maybe don't want to finish down properly. But I know that there are a lot of people that will come in and chase paint perfection on new cars, and personally, I don't think that that's always the healthiest. I don't think it necessarily requires it. We were fortunate that there were very few blemishes on this paint, that we didn't necessarily need to be super aggressive on it. but sometimes detailers will feel like they have to go guns blazing, remove every single defect off the paint. But more than anything, I personally just strive for completely stripped panels. Most oftentimes when you're doing a one step, it's going to remove a majority of the blemishes on the paint. But you can see here, we actually were able to polish this entire vehicle in 45 minutes. We still have an hour and 33 minutes left for coating. We are making good time. All right, we are flying by. We got everything polished. We've done our panel prep wipe. I'm going to show you guys the end result on the paint. For those of you that might be skeptical that I could polish, I mean, there really wasn't hardly any scratches. There were a couple that we had to use, maybe F601 or Optimum Hyper Polish. They're a little bit more of an aggressive abrasive, even though they're like a finishing polish. And then our piano pillars, they were pretty badly scratched, really the only areas of the vehicle. So we dialed those in, did a panel prep wipe. Now we're ready to go ahead and apply our graphene coating. Now this is actually a very easy coating to apply. It's a larger vehicle, so I'm gonna give myself an hour for applying it. Button up our tires and wheels, put our wheel protectant on, our CarPro Pearl tire dressing. We're gonna coat all of our trim, our pillars, all of our paint, our headlights, tail lights, everything, and then we'll let it sit. But let me show you the paint, and then we're gonna go ahead and get our coating applied. When it comes to prepping a new car for ceramic coating, if you need to do any sort of polishing, and I say that loosely because some new vehicles, if there's absolutely nothing on the paint and the paint is in pristine condition after you've done your prep step, you can technically just go straight to applying your ceramic coating. Because we had something on the paint, we needed to polish it off. Because this paint was harder, there wasn't a lot of defects on it, so we didn't need to really be aggressive. We dialed in our piano trim pillars, but the rest of the paint, we were very quickly able to remove the protection with the products and the process that we used for today's vehicle. But if you have softer paint or medium paint and there's more swirls and scratches on it, you might need to choose a different product to give you the finished results that you're looking for. The spray correcting polish that I use today might not work well on soft paints. It might create ghosting or haze. So that's where you really need to do your test spot. But really, I think a good one step should be sufficient for most new vehicles when it comes to prepping for ceramic coating. So now we're on to applying the graphene coating from McKee's 37. I've done tons of videos on what that application process looks like, but the reason that I choose this product, it works really well for my customers, has really nice chemical resistance, durability. But the thing that I love about it most is that it's extremely easy for me to apply. You can work pretty much panel by panel. It has a nice rainbowing flash. I'm using my softbox light to be able to see the coating to help prevent any sort of high spot issues. And I'm able to coat vehicles very quickly with this product. This entire vehicle, it took me about an hour to apply the coating to all of our paint, trim, even our piano pillars, headlights, etc. So for those of you that are looking for products that are going to work really well, work really quickly, but still give you exceptional results, I'll put the links to all the products that I use down below for those of you that are looking for product suggestions. But my kids came home. I had maybe 2 panels left that we had to finish everything up, and we were able to get this entire vehicle washed, chemical decon prep, polish, panel prep wipe, apply our coating in under 4 hours. So if I can do it, you can do it. So there you have it, my entire process from start to finish on prepping a new car for ceramic coating. And honestly, it doesn't require that much more time, even if the vehicle is a few years old. You might just need to spend a little bit more time polishing or figuring out what products are going to work. But if you guys have any questions about this process, about detailing in general, let me know in the comments section down below. But hopefully you enjoyed this video and it can help those of you out who are wanting to offer this service or looking to protect your own vehicle in the future. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, stay tuned for future videos that we have coming out. But we will see you guys in the very next detail.